Hey everybody, welcome to a new episode of POVincent. Well, this movie has finally come. A movie where 45% of people are excited to see how awesome it's going to be. Other 45% just want to see how bad this one's going to be compared to the other ones. And then there's that 10% in the middle who are, well, they're just excited that The Punisher is coming out on Netflix. This is my review of Justice League. The world killer Steppenwolf has come to Earth to use the three mother boxes to finish what he started long ago. But Batman assembles the world's most powerful heroes to put a stop to that. Well, guys, one of the first things I want to point out about this film is I think the gray filter is finally dead. All right? It didn't work that much in Man of Steel. It didn't work at all in Batman v Superman. Wonder Woman stabbed it with her sword. And in this one, it's just completely dead. I think it's gone, so that's happy. A happy thing for me. And it's really reflective of the tone of the film. This film wants you to have fun. All the character interactions, the minor characters, all that stuff. This movie really wants you to have fun. It's your favorite superheroes on the big screen. No more gloominess, no depression, no like, should I save the world? I don't know. Does the world even really want me? I don't know. I mean, there's kind of like touches of that with certain characters when it makes sense for those characters to question in a way. But it's not, oh man, this is so depressing. This character like just be somewhat fun. No, the movie definitely goes for fun. And I really appreciate that. Now, we got humor in this movie and then a lot of it comes from more characters than others. And it's, definitely moments in the film where I definitely had myself a chuckle. There were a couple of jokes that were dirty jokes, and I got nothing wrong with dirty humor, but it seemed out of place with the tone of the film. Thankfully, they kind of happened earlier in the film, and it never went back to that kind of humor, which made me happy. Which is like, if it was like something in Suicide Squad, I felt like those jokes would have worked better. But it sticks to the kind of humor that the feel of the film is having. So that was good. Now, the pacing of the film is unfortunately a major problem. This movie moves quickly. It feels very rushed, especially in the first half of the movie, like the first hour of the film. Everything feels so really rushed. It's kind of annoying, and I felt parts of that in Batman v Superman because the pacing was kind of off in that one too. Except with Batman v Superman, it would go from slower to faster, slower, faster. This one's really sticking with the faster, and that unfortunately hurts some of the character development because I feel like certain things are glossed over or just briefly mentioned. And it's like with, I understand that they got several new characters they have to introduce and for you to get to know them and all that stuff. So I kind of get it, but yeah, the pacing of this film. It does really hurt it a lot. I think it's one of my bigger problems with the film. All right, let's move on to characters with Batman, played by Ben Affleck. So one of the things that everyone did generally enjoy about Batman v Superman, even the people who didn't like it, which I'm definitely one of the people who didn't like it, is Ben Affleck's performance as Batman. Once again, his performance in this movie is well done, and his interactions with Alfred are enjoyable. I feel like he doesn't get a whole ton of development here. It's just like he has a goal, he set it, and it's either reach it or don't reach it. It doesn't really feel like Batman goes through an arc in this film, but it's okay because he's just having the duty of bringing the team together. So he's playing the role of leader, a role that he doesn't want, but since Superman is dead, that's the role he's got to play. Not much of an arc. It's just like he is where he is. So, nothing really big there. Let's move on to Wonder Woman, played once again by Gal Gadot. So Wonder Woman's back in this film, and she's working with Batman to a degree. Some of the other members of the League are getting a little reluctant to joining. We'll get to them, but not her as much. They kind of set up an arc for her that really doesn't show up until halfway through the film. It just felt like they just kind of threw it in there out of nowhere. Next, we have the Flash, played by Ezra Miller. So the Flash, he's one of the more least experienced heroes in this group. Even though a few of them actually are not full-blown superheroes yet. But yeah, he's the little brother of the group. He's really goofy and very socially awkward. Like, that scene in the trailer is where Batman's asking him to join the League, and he's like, I'm in. I don't have any friends. Yeah, he really has no friends. They make it out to be that since the murder of his mother years ago when he was a kid and his dad getting thrown into jail and wrongly accused of that murder, that he's basically cut himself off from the whole world and he doesn't understand people that well. It's kind of a little too much socially awkward, but at the same time, Ezra Miller, he makes the character fun and charming in a quirky way. He's definitely a lot weirder than other Flashes that I've come to know. Then again, I'm no comic book expert, so maybe Barry Allen has gone through these phases. But yeah, so fun character, as Miller doesn't find him. The only problem that comes up to mind in me is that a character like this, I don't know if the way they've set him up is a character that can carry a film by themselves. It's, because he has his own solo movie coming out in a couple of years, I think. And it's like, let me put it this way. Take the Guardians of the Galaxy group. Could you picture Drax carrying his own film? Probably not. It kind of feels like that way to me. Now, at the same time, it doesn't hurt in this film because he's part of a group, but it doesn't make me question. But other than that, he's fun in this movie, so I really don't want to crap all over him because he's not a bad character. Next, we have Aquaman, played by Jason Momoa. Aquaman sadly gets the least amount of character development in this film, which is kind of okay. I mean, we got so many characters that it's like I try to give it some leeway, but really, yeah, he doesn't change that much, I guess. I mean, he's the loner badass that is resistant to joining the group, but then once he, how do I put this? He knows the danger's on his way, but once it actually affects Atlantis, he's all down, but he's still like the loner badass. And then Jason Momoa's fine. He's really cool in the role. It's just that, and he does have his moments of fun. It's just that with a lack of character development, I don't get that much invested in the character. Next, we have Cyborg, played by Ray Fisher. I'm not familiar with Ray Fisher's other works. Like, as far as this is the first film I've ever seen him in, at least like, as far as I know. Cyborg, he's dealing with the fact that, he was in an accident, and now his body is like 90% robot, and like he's have to adjust to all the changes of that. So there's definitely some sadder moments with the character because, he like some of the other characters in the film, he's cut himself off from the world. But unfortunately, he's connected to the technology used by the villain in this film, and that's how he gets dragged into things. But otherwise, Ray Fisher does a good, well done performance-wise. Not a whole lot to say about the character. I was kind of afraid they were going to make him the Iron Man of this film, because in a way he's a tech-based superhero, but his personality is much more level-headed, and he does take things into consideration. He's definitely different from the Cyborg from the Teen Titans animated series from when I was younger. But so I kind of knew that he wasn't going to be going in. But not a bad character, but, he's okay. Now let's talk about the villain, Steppenwolf, played by Ciarán Hinds. I hope I pronounced that name right. Steppenwolf, bland character. Bland. Destroy the world, supervillain. That's about it. And oh yes, we need to talk about one last character. Big Blue himself. Unfortunately, I'm not going to talk about Superman here. If you've seen the trailer for this movie, you know that Superman really hasn't been featured except for like a dream sequence with Lois in one of the more recent trailers. But I'm going to save Superman for my spoiler discussion, which I'll be releasing later this week. But yeah, so if you want to know my thoughts on Superman, keep an eye out for my spoiler discussion. So let's go into the CGI. The CGI isn't that good. It's not horrible. One of the big problems is, for instance, Steppenwolf. Steppenwolf CGI looks good if we were in a video game, but we're not in a video game. We're in a movie where he has to interact with, real flesh and blood people, and he just never feels like he's actually there. So that hurts it. Some of the parademons is like, his minions, they're kind of the same deal with them. It's like I have trouble feeling like they're really there. And other moments of CGI and stuff like that. So, yeah, CGI could have been better. Could have been better. Not the worst I've seen, but for a movie like this, yeah, I was expecting a little better. Now on to the action. The action in this film, it's pretty good, pretty fun. I really don't have any major complaints about it. I mean, everyone gets their own moments. The Flash gets some moments. Aquaman and Wonder Woman have this moment together where they're working and fighting off monsters and stuff. Batman, of course, doing his Batman stuff. Yeah, no, I really got no complaints about the action, except for, as I said previously, certain not being invested in some of the characters hurts the action a bit, because if I'm not invested in the character, then what do I care if they kick ass or like they save somebody? But yeah, no, there's definitely overall more than not the action's good. All right, guys, Justice League. Do I recommend you go see it, or do I recommend you give it a skip? Well, like I said, this movie's trying to have a ton of fun, and these are the greatest superheroes in the world, and I want to have fun with them. And definitely moments in the film were a lot of fun. But the incredibly rushed pace of the film really hurts things a lot. I mean, there's moments with characters or bits of information that are given out, or things that I just want to see go on for a little bit longer, but the movie's just moving right along. That really hurts it, along with the other stuff I mentioned. So, the movie seems to have a style over substance issue for me. I'll say this much. It's not as good as Wonder Woman. I thought Wonder Woman was really good. There some problems at the end, but overall I thought Wonder Woman was really good. So it's not as good as Wonder Woman, but it's better than Man of Steel, which I consider that to be the second best DCEU film up to this point. So, yeah, it's hovering somewhere kind of in the middle, a little bit. So, I would recommend you go see it, because it's just kind of a fun superhero film. But if you really expect it to be the grand epic or this incredible, like, mind-blowing, or like, you know, the superhero movie that's up there with like Dark Knight or Captain America: Winter Soldier, I don't think you're going to get that. But it's still fun enough. It's fun enough. It's just not it's not everything you wanted a Justice League movie to be. It's got some of it, but not all of it. Well, anyway, guys, that is my review of Justice League. Please tell me what your point of view of it is down in the comments. I'd like to have a conversation with you. Oh, and one little last heads up: there is an after credits scene in the movie, and I gotta admit, it's pretty damn cool. It's pretty cool. But anyway, guys, if you enjoyed this video, please click that follow button to watch more of my reviews. And especially keep your eye out for my spoiler discussion, which hopefully for that one I should have a guest on that, a buddy of mine. We'll see you there. But anyway, guys, thank you for viewing things through my perspective.